there. So I'm ready for our next guest here when they are ready to share their screen. And as we're talking here, share in the chat. We have Bill Ladd. Bill is, and Jared's here too. Great. So nothing happens in your practice without money. Mark Costas says, money is the oxygen of our practice. I think dental school doesn't teach us about money. They do a good job charging the money. I think maybe they should do the teaching of how they charge the money, because they tell you, just be a good dentist, so I'll work out. And then you get out of dental school, like, that was horrible advice, right? You guys charge us $500,000. Tell us how you get people to do that. So the money people, dental CPAs, Bill and Jared, awesome friends, key resources and sponsors. Just take a minute to share what you guys do on a day-to-day basis to help dentists in their dentisting lives. I'll start with you, Bill.
Yeah. So if you hold up that basketball again, that's one reason I love talking to you, Paul. You have these analogies that are so cool, man. They just speak our language. You call it the circle of dentistry life. We call it the dental entrepreneurial journey. And every business owner's on an entrepreneurial journey. And you actually opened our eyes that sometimes that starts on day one of D1, right? With people who kind of have that entrepreneurial bent. And the quicker you can start giving good data to those people to educate them on the business of dentistry, the better. So we basically are a CPA firm that understands that everybody is at some point, some phase along that journey. So we built out products, service offerings, and content to try to help them graduate to the next phase. And then to the next phase until they get to that ultimate freedom. So that's what we love doing on a day-to-day basis.
And you guys have shared so much. Jared, you help people a lot of times. You're the people saying, are you nacho nuts to do this money thing? Share with us, it could be a good story, a challenging story, where people at least had my goal is to bring you people who you can put on your advisory team, your board. Dental CPAs, huge part of that. I mean, to learn more about what Bill and Jared do, you can text CPA to 55444. They're great people. But who's run a nacho nuts plan by you and you said, this is good, this is not so good, but just how they didn't know where the money part worked, and share with us a little bit about that.
Yeah, like Bill said, I mean, we help dentists all along the journey. So, one of the phases of the journey, if you will, on a lot of people is like they've identified a practice. Like they're like, hey, here's a practice, I want to buy it. And they just get so married to it. You can't tell them anything different. They're going to take it down, no matter how much money they pay for it. And I think the thing that people don't realize, and things we've seen, is dentists don't really understand the cash flow that's going to come from that practice. Right. What are they actually going to make once they jump in? Are they actually going to make less than what they were making as an associate? Yeah. So we like to really spell that out for them and say, hey, as we see it, this is what the cash flow, this is what you could expect to make off assumptions, et cetera, to basically make sure that that's the right practice. Because not always is that first practice you're looking at buying the right one. We just like to help clarify that is a good one.
I as a broker, I'm a lot of the general dentists. I think of you guys like an endodontist. I think of the dental attorneys as the periodontist. Go to the endodontist first, determine, can we find these canals? Is the tooth restorable? That's our talk. Because this is my nacho tip. Don't become overly invested in a practice until you talk to a dental CPA. Because sometimes you become emotionally invested. And then you have to go back to your spouse, your wife, your husband, someone to be like, I'm going to buy this practice and we're going to make half as much as I used to make. That is something that in a JBR way could destroy a marriage. It could destroy things that are happening, because if you don't have this awareness when going into the biggest decision, buying a practice, biggest decision of your life, bigger decision than who you marry, because I sell practices and I see dentists, multiple spouses, multiple houses, one practice. So what do you guys do if someone's watching this and saying, hey, I want to reach out to you, but I don't know how it works to work with a dental focused attorney. How do people get started on step one? How would they reach out to you guys, Bill?
All right. So not to be a smart aleck, but if they're looking for a dental focused attorney, I'd say Rob Montgomery, man. They'll send him to Rob Montgomery. If they're looking for the guys with the EBITDA tattooed on their back, then come see us. Go to our website, www.duckettladd.com. You can find a little bit about us, but there's a work with us page, and that's a good resource. I know there's a really frictionless process through Dental Nachos where you can reach out and they can forward that information on to us. And from there, it's just hopping on a call and just chatting to see, is there something we can do to help? And, sometimes there is and sometimes there's not, but it never hurts to at least, see if there's something that could be done to make you better and make your practice better.
And I'll jump in there too. I would just encourage to even reach out if maybe you haven't identified a practice, like you don't need help doing a practice acquisition analysis, but you're just thinking about the concept of, hey, I think I want to be an owner. I think I want to purchase the practice. Reach out to us. We're happy to hop on a call, just educate you a little bit, maybe give you some education resources, books to read, etc. Just really start changing your mindset to business ownership.
For sure.
And one of the things I want to share, because which is connected, I do hopes and dreams calls for dentists. They're very affordable. They talk to me. We go over a practice process, and I'll say, now you need to see the endodontist. Bill and Jared refer you. Share with some of the people that you've met through the Dental Nachos community who've talked to me first. What are some of the things you've helped them with? I mean, I'm here to help people see, like, you know, you've talked to people early in the state ownership stage before it. Bill or Jared, tell us a story, but not without revealing, don't reveal their names, but, you know, who have you connected with along the way and what have you helped them with?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for sending those. And we do. Most of the ones we've been seeing so far are on the either exploration or the current acquisition phase. I mean, they're ready to buy a practice.
Yeah.
And, you know, one experience comes to mind, which I thought was really interesting. And that was a guy that you sent our way who, you know, you and I are big believers in getting that mind right and getting the mindset right. And, you know, we started just kind of chatting through, you know, just on the phone call, you know, we were able to kind of identify what kind of practice it was looking at, maybe open his eyes to some things he might want to think about, to consider. You know, I don't think that practice worked out for him, but one thing that I thought was kind of rewarding, and it kind of goes back to what we wish we would have known, was it allowed us to give him some resources to use. I mean, some of them were books, you know, books. Go read this book if you're really interested. You know, read this, this, and this. These are kind of the Mount Rushmore that will lay a good foundation to get your head right, to give you a general foundational knowledge. And then if you're actually looking at and now, you know, analyzing a practice, come see us again. But in the meantime, here's some homework, get after it. And, you know, I stay in touch with that guy. He's a good dude and he's going to find a practice. He's going to crush it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Jared, you said had similar experiences with dentists you've talked to through the Nachos program.
Yeah, for sure. Just an example, you know, a dentist, maybe, you know, you send our way and they're looking at an internal practice buy-in. So they've been working there as an associate already, and they're kind of maybe uncomfortable, if you will, like, well, the doctor said, you know, this is the purchase price. Is that a good purchase price? How's it going to work once I buy in? And really, we can jump in, help them understand the numbers, walk them through the logistics, and really kind of help them communicate with that, you know, selling doctor.
You mentioned that buy-in's the highest risk and high reward in my experience. I bought it with my dad. It could be a family member. It could be someone, you know, it has high risk and high reward. So it doesn't mean discard it. It doesn't mean give up on it, but it also means to go in with open eyes. So really love you guys sharing. We appreciate it. Thanks for being Nacho Resources. Hang around, share in the chat, but I'm going to just share your text code one more time. Text CPA to 55444 to learn more about what you guys do. And really appreciate it. I'll have a new sports ball here next time. I need a new one.
I'm seeing some comments, Bill, on a country music star, man. You got to whip out the guitar.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know if my Friday casual. I play one on podcast. How about that?
There you go.
This is, I guess I'll reveal my trick. So this is a basketball for the moderator, because I really can't palm a regular basketball. You probably can't tell this on TV. Don't tell anyone out there. 1 billion people are watching. Don't tell anyone I actually can't palm a regulation basketball. Awesome, guys. Thanks so much for being you guys. Really appreciate it.
You bet, guys.
Appreciate it, Paul.
Take care.